So this is the CCA CSN. It's a KZIM. And if you know the track record of me reviewing KZIMs and talking about KZIMs, they usually all suck. And from what I found when listening to these IMs is no matter the configuration, like almost all KZs sound the same. By sounding the same, what I really mean was they have the same weaknesses, and if any, they have the similar benefits for most KZs out there. The usual weaknesses are incoherencies and a very sloppy bass and the crazy amount of treble and peaks there that's just ear bleeding. But I'm actually quite excited to say that I would like to give a hand to the KZ manufacturers and tuners that this particular unit, the CCA, this is the CCA CSN, doesn't have ear bleeding treble. It finally got to their minds that we don't need to always claw our eyes out while listening to music. So the treble here is much tamer than a lot of other KZs, especially these two. This is the CSN Pro X, I guess, and this is the ZSTX. So these two are completely different beasts. But let's. This is not going to be the conventional type of review. So this is about $15 if I'm not mistaken. This is about $15 to $18 if I'm not mistaken. It's probably what you should get for its price overall. If I would imagine spending sub $20 for an IM, this is probably going to be what I imagine I would get. So it's quite average sounding. It's not terrible. Surprisingly, it's not absolutely garbage and useless, but it's not good either. I'm not even putting the MH755 here. That is fucking intentional because I don't think these deserve to be compared to those, but I do pull out the MT1, and it's a very good IM. This is the original, the dynamic MT1 with the original filters. I don't know what they do with the newer batches. I haven't listened to one, so I can't say if the newer batches and the older batches sound different because I have not listened to those. But these sound fucking fantastic. Okay, these are about the price here. Maybe this is even cheaper. I really recommend these. And you also have the EDX, which is a better KZ in every single way. It's more coherent. That's number one. Okay, it's fucking coherent. This is fucking coherent because it only has single drivers. I don't think KZ is ready to be putting multiple drivers on a single IM, and because all of the multi-drivers IMs have the exact same weakness. That is, they are not coherent. The coherency is like nothing. There is nothing there. It's as if they just put two different drivers there and then just wire them together without let's just wire this shit, like glue it up and sell these, like people will fucking buy it. That's how I would expect like KZ making two driver sounding coherent. It's like they don't. But here the treble, and that also followed up usually with the scorching amount of like like wall scratching amount of treble, especially at the DZSTX. Okay, this is crap amount of treble that's when you listen to them loud. I usually listen to a lot of music loud. That's why I really pick up on these like spikes and shit. When you listen to them loud, it like kills you instantly. It's like ruins your ears for like -5 years of ear life span, I guess. But this is a good step. This is a baby step. This is a good step towards not being mediocre. This is a one step away from mediocrity. So I think this is a good step from KZs to not make the treble ear screechingly loud. Okay, so it's not ear bleedingly loud. It's like the EDX. However, the EDX still have that amount of that quite significant amount of lower treble and mid treble. It's still very peaky there, but though it's definitely one of the best KZs out there because it's fucking coherent and the bass is still punchy, yet it's not as disgusting, I guess, as a lot of other KZs, especially the DQ fucking 6 and that I am. And when I listen to the fucking CCA CSN, I have that type of PTSD when listening to the bass because the bass sounds very similar. It's not punchy, it doesn't have a very good dynamics, but it doesn't have really good macro dynamics. It just sounds sloppy and slobbery and slow, and it's not the good type of bass. Okay, it just doesn't sound fucking good. The MT1 sounds punchier than these, and it has less bass. It sounds much punchier. It's just slow and unresolving. But I do appreciate that they reduce the treble and no more of those weird type of peaks on weird places. Though the coherency is still utter crap. So for me, I tend to prefer technical performance and coherency and texture and dynamics, and those things are part of having good technical performance. Well, these does not have that. So when I can't listen to these, it's painful for me to listen to these. I'd rather listen to earplugs. I wouldn't pick these up if I so I wouldn't pick these up if I don't really need to. If it's the only thing I have and I really need to listen to something with an IM, I would like painfully pick these up. But I would not listen to these for any amount of enjoyment, because there is no enjoyment coming out from these because of the lacking technical performance. The detail here is actually pretty good. Like a lot of KZ's detail is actually okay. Not the bass detail, but mid-range and treble detail is actually pretty okay. But they also see what I meant by a lot of KZ sounding very similar. They all sound the same because they do have average detail. They do have good. Some of them are actually pretty good, like the CCA. What the fuck was that one? The CCA. I forgot the last CCA I've reviewed. CST, yeah. That one has good detail. Okay, that one has good detail and good definition to them. They have crap like amount of treble spikes, and the bass is just like bloated shit. But this is more bloated. This is slower than that. That one's bass is kind of like the EDX type of bass. Slightly faster, slightly more technical, I guess, slightly more controlled, I guess, and these are just like fuck all type of bass. So you might have enjoyment here if you don't really care about coherency and bass tightness and bass resolution or something. You don't really care about that. But yeah, so, or you're just new to this hobby. Of course, when I first started with this hobby, my first IM, well, let me grab my first IM. This is not actually my first IM, but this is one of my first IM that actually like really get me into this hobby is these. These are the ZS10 Pro, and I really fucking love these. If you can see, they have a lot of cracks and next to them, because I really like these, and oh my god, these sound like, oh holy shit, this is good sound. And that's what I thought before, but after I listened to the one that I really crap on now, the 10T3s, I started to hate these because it sounds just less resolving. It sounds more incoherent. It sounds just unimpressive, I guess. Though I will never sell these. This is going to be like the beginning, the genesis of all of my IMs and headphones, and not really headphones. I do have a couple of headphones before that, but all of my IMs journey started with these, which I really, when I picked up IMs more seriously. So for beginners, it's okay. I guess it's okay. This is an okay start. I prefer to start from here rather than these two. Though I would still recommend these two, the MT1 Ti and the MT1s, and the KZEDX over the CCA CSN, because usually beginners are not very what do you call that? Trained to listen to coherency and detail. They usually are more adept to soundstage separation and imaging and what do you call that, definition, because it's more easier to perceive those type of qualities. Maybe some don't, like Jason have a bit of trouble listening to soundstage, I guess. I don't know. But for most beginners, I guess the spatial presentation and definition really stood up most. Maybe in to a certain extent, macro dynamics, not micro. Micro is fucking difficult to notice, but that's probably it. So this is an okay start. If you have these and you really like the sound, it's okay. Don't fucking listen to anything I said, but it's okay. But if you're going to take something from this review, and if you're like fuck me and like you don't care what I think, but take this one thing: you would probably outgrow these type of sound, and it happened to me before. In your audiophile journey, you will listen to a lot of better IMs, a lot of more technical IMs than these, and you would much appreciate these two IMs more with that. And it is okay for someone to start off with a KZ, and it's perfectly fine. I did it, okay? So I would advise you to just keep this IM, keep it, and purchase something better, listen to it, and after like a good few weeks, a month, listen to these again and see if you really notice the problems in its coherency and the problems in its bass like what I experienced. Okay, I guess that's it for the review. See you next time. You don't forget to watch Jason's video. See you next time. Godspeed.